My name is Jessica Levin, and I'm the Experiential Learning and Study Abroad Manager at BMCC, the Borough of Manhattan Community College. At BMCC, we hope to expand our COIL collaborations, so we've made this short video to introduce you to COIL in case you're not familiar. COIL is collaborative online international learning, and SUNY, the State University of New York, has been a leader in this field. So a lot of the resources we use have been adapted from their COIL Center. COIL is also known as telecollaboration, virtual exchange. There's a lot of terminology, but in a nutshell, COIL is two classrooms connecting in different parts of the world so that the students can work together on a project. This really gives the students an opportunity to expand their international awareness, gain international perspectives that otherwise they may have not been able to do, especially if they're not traveling. And they can build their digital skills and team working skills. Faculty can expand their international work and possibly find new research topics. Because online is part of the acronym for COIL, people often assume that a primary goal is to become an expert in technology, but that's not necessarily the case. A primary goal is to have two groups of students meet who may have not met otherwise, and this can be done in various disciplines. Right here, I've provided a very short list of where this is possible just to give you an idea. So for example, students may compare educational systems or health systems and practices, or they may look at various social justice issues and how these play out in each of their locations. Importantly, COIL can involve classrooms across disciplines and across academic levels. So the goals and benefits may be slightly different for each group, and that's okay. You just want to make sure that you and your partner discuss that beforehand. The second goal is to find the technology that allows for this collaboration, and this can be as simple or complex as you and your partner want it to be. COIL can be done in both online and in-person courses, and we recommend looking at an existing course you have and seeing where COIL could be added to an assignment or could be used as a new project to really enhance what your students are learning in the course. You and your partner will decide if you want the students to meet synchronously, so live meetings, or asynchronously, having the students do the assignments on their own time. You can also do a combination of synchronous and asynchronous assignments. It's usually recommended to have at least 4 weeks for the COIL collaboration. So in this example, the first week would be dedicated to you explaining the concept of COIL to your students, introducing them to the location that they'll be working with and the technology that they may use. And then in the next week, you could have the students meet each other. And this could be done in pairs, for example. The goal is to simply warm them up for this type of interaction. So you want to give them something simple, such as take a picture of what best represents your city and write a short paragraph explaining why, and then post that for the other student to see. Then in the following weeks, the students would work together on the assignments that you and your partner have created. And in the final week, the students could reflect on the COIL project. We invite you to be part of our BMCC partner directory. Here, I would share your name and your discipline with our faculty who are interested in COIL at BMCC. And if we have someone who's available, we will reach out to you. Our expectations are pretty simple. We just ask that you be available the months or semester prior to the COIL project, and we'll provide some partner worksheets for both of you to complete, and that you be available when the project is happening so that you can troubleshoot any issues as they may come up. In preparing your COIL project, we'll have you look at various aspects. So designing the project, you'll want to see what are your goals for this COIL collaboration and how do you envision the students working together. These are just a couple of questions that we'll ask. And then looking at a lot of logistics. So for you and your partner, is there daylight savings between your two locations? How frequently do you want to meet? When's the best time to meet? And for your courses, are there holidays when the classes won't meet? Do your semesters end and begin at different times? And looking at your classroom culture, how much time do you expect your students to work on the project in and outside of class? And looking at the grading, for example, if one class is assigning 10% of the overall grade to the COIL project and the other class is assigning it as extra credit, the students may approach it a bit differently. And this is actually okay. You just want to make sure to discuss this beforehand. And then in terms of technology, you want to become familiar with each student group and what they're comfortable using in and outside of the classroom. And you want to know if there's going to be any challenges they may face. So how good is the internet connection? Will they incur an extra cost for data usage? Because we don't want that to happen for the students. And then if you're creating content, who will be responsible for posting the materials, for example? I provided a few examples here of tools that you may use for the communication and collaboration aspects. Again, it's up to you and your partner. So whatever you're most comfortable with. For example, if you want the students to meet live, you may use Skype, or you may have the students simply email each other. Linker and Padlet are some cool platforms where both student groups can share files and comment on each other's work. You can also check with your school if your learning management system can host external users. Google Translate, very important if the two classes are taught in different languages, which is possible. You'll just want to make sure to prepare for that beforehand. And then if you want the students to create content, videos, for example, they could simply be done on a phone, or you could introduce them to Screencast-O-Matic, which is a free tool that they could use, and deciding where to post that. Could it be on YouTube, maybe a private Facebook group? And then sharing files. Google Drive can be really effective, especially for students to work on one document on their own time. And then social media, again, if the students are super comfortable with Facebook, maybe you'll have a private Facebook group where the two groups can meet each other. Thank you for watching these slides. Again, we invite you to become part of our partner directory, and my contact info is also there in case you have any questions.